Go. All
All
right.
cool.
Listen, what's up, good people? It's your man, Antoine, back in the building, Apex Couture Magazine, man. Y'all get ready to get them likes up. Get ready to come on in the building and see what we got popping, man. I got somebody real special, man. He got a lot going on. You know, he's a real busy man. You know what I mean? And we finally got the chance to sit down. So tell the people who you are, homie.
What's up, brother? I'm Keithian. How y'all doing?
All right. All right. So listen.
Doing this virtual style.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, tell the people, the world of Apex Couture a little bit about who you are, where you from, what it is that you do, and we could dive into all that.
Yo, so I'm a musician. I grew up in Louisiana, New Orleans, and Longview, Texas, East Texas. Shout out to Longview, Texas. I don't give a shout out to Longview as much.
What? I ain't never even heard of that. Isn't there both?
I know, right? It's in East Texas, Longview, Tyler, Marshall. It's east of Dallas. It's almost, and then you keep going to Shreveport and everything.
Okay, yeah, I done been all through there. I ain't never been there, but I done been through, Dallas, Beaumont, Houston, all them areas. So tell us more.
That I-20, you hit the I-20, you pass right by everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
I know. Yeah. Birmingham, all that.
Yeah, exactly. I grew up in the South, Louisiana, Texas, and musician, bro. My family's musician. My parents still sing in the choir at church randomly. Wow. And my grandfather was a jazz musician, so I learned jazz, or learned saxophone first. Then from that, I joined a boy group, and we performed, kind of developed, got myself together, and then kept it moving, man. Then start producing for other artists as I went, songwriting for other people. I didn't even really think about it. Shit just started happening like that.
Word.
And that continued like off and on. I got into a label deal, and I kept on moving that way. Ended up moving out to LA, going back and forth from Louisiana, Texas, and Atlanta, and just working, man. And most recently, I've just been like putting out my own music, independent.
Okay, I was just about
excited about that.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about that. So, because a lot of people, I get a lot of artists that, they subscribe to my magazine and, get ad packages and everything. So for somebody who's been on a label and now doing it independent, talk about the differences and the pros and the cons.
No, there's a lot of pros and cons in this thing. It's kind of like obviously, you get with a label and stuff, they help you get things faster supposedly, but if you don't know who you are, you kind of get lost out there. You kind of have to know who you are. You have to know how to champion yourself with your team and just who you are as a brand, a musician, and you kind of have to make your own plays. So like even today in the society that we are in with a DIY, where you do it yourself as a musician, everybody's trying to should be independent at least. Like, yeah. I feel like the pros and cons kind of outweigh themselves. Like the pros, obviously, like I said, you get a chance to have a bigger team that's like, okay, they're gonna do this, or this is gonna happen, or you get first, you like got a little bit of VIP in line. But the truth is that the cons is, if you don't have your shit together, you don't have you together or whatever, then it's not gonna work out the way it should be. So like that's my outlook on it nowadays.
So things have been working out a lot better since you've been independent.
Yeah, man, you get a chance to get your team. You got to choose people you work with. You enjoy what you're doing, how you doing it. You don't have to do too much bullshit that you don't want to do. Yeah. That's a lot of pros. And then, obviously there's a lot of ups and downs, roller coaster, regardless of what art you in or entertainment. So some of the cons is you gotta hustle. You gotta hustle a different way. You gotta hustle to get that money. You gotta hustle to put the money back into you.
Yeah.
You gotta hustle to find the right people. A lot of people, I know this, like for myself as an artist too, because I've been through it just like everybody. Like you make the money and then you put the money into it and you be like, what the fuck? It's not happening. It's because you're putting the money the wrong way. So you have to hustle to get the right people to help you do that stuff and make sure that the funds and budget is going to the right places, how to monetize, how to keep relationships. All this stuff is, but
that's important. I'm glad you saying all of that, because you're dealing with a lot of artists, and I can see right now you on point. You already know what you got going on.
I'm trying to.
Man, And let me ask you, what genre, what's your genre of music? What type of music do you make? And then
okay, so I make R&B, pop, jazz music, Spanish records, island music, you know what I'm saying? Like all this kind of stuff. So I don't know, people ask me that. I call my music gumbo music, like gumbo music, just because all this going into it and whatnot. So I enjoy that stuff. I don't know, bro. I just try to take influences. Like I grew up around music. My parents and people, they gave me really good music to listen to. All kinds of. I'm sitting there thinking like we used to know about Cab Calloway and Duke Ellington, man, like things like that.
Those are good elements right there. And see, the reason why I asked that is because in my line of work, you know, when I deal with artists, there's a difference in the way guys or even women handle their business when they're rappers versus the R&B singers, pop stars, or whatever. And I'm making it sort of an educational moment for my rappers out there, for you niggas out there. Excuse me. You know, like the man was saying, you gotta have your shit together. You gotta make sure your budget. Let's focus on that. Let me close this thing out. Budget. Okay? This man right here just said a mouthful when he was telling you about making sure your budget's right, making sure what money goes here, what money goes there, having your team together. Listen, you gotta do that and stop thinking just because you can rap, that's gonna get you on. I deal with it all the time. Listen, you niggas think just because you can rap, I'm supposed to just put you in my magazine. You think these publications supposed to just put you in on their blogs. You think that people are supposed to just put you on the radio, and it don't work like that, man. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that you have the experience and able to just, you know, easily articulate that, because
it's true. It's a business, so you have to be able to. You know what's funny? I've been having to find myself. There's certain things as an artist you don't feel like you need to pay for. I feel that all the time. I'm entitled. I feel that shit. I was like, that shit good enough.
Yeah.
You know, but then you step back and you be like, okay, cool, but it's a business. Yeah. So you look into it like, you know what? I want to pay them out of my appreciation. You get what I'm saying? Just because I want them. You want the best work. And I know it's very confusing because actually most of us artists don't jump into just trying to make money like that. It's just kind of like happen. So it's the love that gets us there, and then you realize it's actually more business when you get into the business. So you gotta look at it with a hustler mentality, and just pretty much be ready to. I just listen, like for instance, Jay-Z has some good lessons. He said things like, "You're not really a boss until you're ready to pay people's paychecks, or write checks." You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, and that's really true when you think about it. So even as an artist, like, you are a boss. You are an artist. You create. So nobody can sell anything from you until you do it. So you the boss. So you have to think of it like, okay, I need them to make the checks as I get checks.
Yeah, exactly. So that's you know, and I'm glad we touched on that, man. So you know, young guys, it's a lot of young artists I deal with, and you know, because I deal with people, you know, I have an urban variety publication, so I deal with business owners, models, actors, everybody that's black that got something good going on.
Right.
But it tends to be with the rappers. That's where the area tend to be like, you know, it's kind of like
so gray.
Yeah, it's more like hey, my nigga, I'm saying I'm one of the hardest going to my tip music guy, and it's like I don't really have time to just check it out. You know what I'm saying? Even if it is hot, you know what I'm saying? Right now, this is a business, so if I provide a service, you know, you see what I'm saying? So if you want your product to be advertised or published in my publication, there's a service fee for that, and that's gonna get you in automatically versus you trying to talk my head off and make me, you see what I'm saying, play you like that, or connections, you know what I mean, like how we connect. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's another thing that guys need to know about. But enough about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your music. You got the hot new joint, Communicate. Talk about it.
Yeah, man, Communicate is a song that just kind of came to me. I wrote it about a friend. I wrote it about like a friend that actually committed suicide. And it was kind of like just open letter to that friend in a certain sense. At the same time, like, it's just the general message. Communication, just like we just finished doing, it's like what you kind of have to do sometimes. You got to get your point across, make sure people kind of communicate back and forth to you. And I just kind of wrote that out, just real simple concept, but then we put it to a vibe. so that's what it is. That's straight up what the song is. It's called Communicate. It's out everywhere, all platforms. Music video just came out last week, so check that out. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna have that. You know what? I saw that video too, and I wanted to wait till I got with you and chopped it up with you about it. But it's gonna that's in the article, so y'all make sure y'all in the article. Y'all check that video out. Is there an album coming, or what's going on?
It is. So I got an EP coming out on November the 13th. Okay. It's gonna be called To My Pain, and that is basically a continuation to all this, everything that's on Surface right now. I wrote that as like a signature to a level, to a letter. I'm sitting there like, basically, we just got in the studio. Oliver, my homie Oliver, and I, we were writing and we kind of got together and just like, let's just vibe. So we came to my studio actually and did everything and then put it out. And it's like, let's really like put this out. So that's what I'm at, man. It's Surface music. Everything happened in the music is like on the surface. It just happened or whatever.
I can tell you got a vibrant spirit, man. So it looks like it feels like you're in a good place right now with what you got going on, man. I like to see that. I love to see that, man.
Thanks, dog. Thanks, man.
It'll bleed through in the music. So who have you worked with, and who would you like to work with?
Oh man, so I've worked as a songwriter in this industry, producer. I've worked with so many people, man, and it's just people. It's funny because people will be like, oh, you work with celebrities. Sometimes it's not even about that. It's like some of the other songwriters and producers that I really got a chance to work with and whatnot. So just so many, bro. I've written for Jennifer Hudson, some of the big people, like, you know, Mary J. Blige. Me and the homie Oliver, we were in the studio actually writing for Rihanna. Now, we don't know what's happening with that.
Everybody's waiting on Rihanna, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's all waiting. You know what? That's crazy because my son, my 11-year-old son, said this at the dinner table. It was probably last night. And he was like, what happened to Rihanna? I mean, what's going on? I'm like, man, that's everybody's question. And that's greatness. That's greatness. For you to just have people in, that's like one of my favorite rapper of all time, Andre 3000 of Outkast.
Oh God, yes. I was thinking about that the other day. It's like, cause I heard a Beyonce record the party when that's like, well, he did that cause that's Queen B. Yeah, but it's very hard to
you don't just get him like that. You know what I mean? And those type of people, I think, you know what I think? I think they're ahead of their time. And I think so far ahead of their time that, you know, because even with Dre, he's trying to explain why he isn't really doing music. And it's like he's saying he can't be creative. I think if you go back through his catalog and through the Outkast catalog, that dude that's why he's
way ahead of his time. We still listen to the stuff. It's still like out there. Things he said is actually still happening.
Yes, exactly. So, you know, I mean, if you're that far ahead, you know, and with Rihanna, you know what I mean? So, I mean, and that's good to even hear that you had the opportunity to even do that, man. So you've been surrounded by a lot of good things.
Yeah.
Greatness, man. You know?
Dude, work, man. So, yeah. So that's kind of exciting, man. And as far as working with somebody, I don't even have, obviously you want to work with people like Michael and Prince, but I gotta, you know.
Yeah.
So I gotta wait my turn, you know. But as far as everybody else, I just get surprised. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, whoa. Like, so I just love working with different people and learning and seeing how they work. So I'm open to it.
So check this out, right? And see, this is why I like freestyling when I do these. I'm finna do something real quick, and it's gonna be unfair because I hate this question, but I seen this topic and it bothered me. It was on Twitter, and this I forgot who it was that tweeted it, and they said, who was better, or who did you prefer, Mike or Prince?
Oh, okay. You want me to answer that question?
If you could, because I hate that question.
Well, I'm have to get real political here, like meaning that like I don't really believe in that because everybody's special in the weird, you know. Like, so I never try to compare people. Like, that's the weirdest thing. It's like, wow, if the only way you compare people is if they're like doing not even verses.
That was so. Listen, that was so unfair to me when I saw that, and I got offended. I was like, do you understand who those two men are?
Yeah.
He's saying who is better or who would you prefer?
Yeah.
We need both.
We need both. I can understand who to prefer. I guess I can understand that because people do prefer different music. But even those two gentlemen, those supers, they look back at each other and be like, "Damn, like, you're incredible, dog." Yeah.
Me, I think there is none without the other. I think you gotta have
both.
Well,
yeah.
I couldn't answer that question. I'm like, put me in that position again.
Yeah, bro. I loved them both, those two artists, for both different reasons. Like Prince is the ultimate musician to me, but he's also a huge pop star, like just a rock star. Yes. And Michael is just, he's like a angel. Like he's like magic. He literally is magic. So I just was, you know, there was no preference from just one or the other. It's just like I get different things from each. So. And
you know what? And I kind of got a feeling that you would give a answer like that, because anybody that knows music truly and has that understanding would say, "Hey, come on, we're not gonna do this. This is not what we're gonna do." So all right, man. So listen, what else you got going? Is there any acting? Do you do any acting or anything?
Yeah, dude, I got so much stuff going on. I have done acting before. I haven't been in front of the camera like that for a little bit of time, but I randomly shot a short film the other day, and then and I just been jumping into like my creative spirit a little bit more. So I'd rather just you guys see it, but when y'all see it, I promise you're gonna look back, you'll be like, "Oh, he didn't tell me that this was happening." You guys just gonna be like, "What the?"
Yeah. But listen, man, I think we good, man. I just, I'm glad we got a chance to chop it up. I'm looking forward to whatever it is you got going on, man. And make sure that we have everything for you guys. Y'all know how I do, man. Apex Couture Magazine, one-stop shop. Man. You click on that link and go to that article. You're gonna have everything you need from this man. How you say your name again?
It's Keithian. And you can find me on Instagram at iKeithian. You can go on my fan link on Instagram, and you can go to my YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal.
Get that link for you. And that link gonna be up in that thing for you. You're gonna watch how I do. We're gonna break that bitch up in there. Listen, man. Hey, you got a great vibe, man. Love what you
Thanks, dog.
Keep doing what you're doing, man, and make sure to stay in contact. Anytime you got something going on, let me know. I get it up in there, man. Make sure that people stay locked in on any and everything you got going on, man. So any shout outs you want to give out to your peeps or your fam or whatever?
I just want to give a shout out to all those people listening to my gumbo music.
Word. Part of that. You dig? So listen, man, we out of here. Keithian, that's the man of the hour. You already know.
All right, brother.